What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and video. This is actually part 2, so if you haven't seen part 1, that'll be linked either on this page or somewhere below. Go check it out. That was where we defined kind of what this is about, active versus passive investing, and some of the beginner or neutral strategies for people to get started in passive investing. All right, just jumping right back into it. Number 3, neutral real estate investing strategies. These will take a little bit more time up front doing research and finding markets. I would say anywhere from the range of 1 to 3 months of maybe 30 minutes a day. But then after that, it is fairly passive and it should run pretty much without you, maybe just check-ins here and there, but it's more on the front end. The first strategy is house hacking. We will be doing a lot more videos on this channel about house hacking, but just to get started, it's something I've done a couple times and I think it's an amazing strategy for beginners looking to get into real estate. From a high level, you buy a property that's 1 to 4 units, you live in one part of it and you rent out the rest. You put very little down since you're living in it, somewhere in the range of 3 to 5% in a lot of cases. And it's a great way to get into a property with very little money that can either cover your cost of living by your tenants paying your mortgage, or to actually make a little money every month. You can typically do one of these a year, and oftentimes they will change your financial trajectory forever. It's kind of what happened for me. The second neutral strategy is vacation homes that you put 10% down on and you Airbnb when you are not there. The way these work is you find vacation homes in destination markets. Because they are in destination markets, you can put 10% down and you can truly kind of have a lifestyle business. You can live in the property whenever you want or go vacation there, and when you're not there, you can put it on Airbnb, and a lot of times the returns on these are amazing. I put this here as most of these actually are fairly turnkey properties, meaning they're clean properties, they look pretty, they don't require a lot of work, and a lot of times they come with furniture. You can also typically inherit a property manager or even a cleaner with these properties, as they often operate as short-term rentals before you get to them. All right, the house hacking pros and cons. All right, some of the pros: you are living for free or you're getting paid to live. I don't know another strategy that works anywhere like this, but it's an awesome way to make money, but also lower your living expense. Number 2, you put a tiny amount down to take ownership of this property. Like I said, if you live in it, you can put down as little as 3 to 5%. Most properties require 20 to 25%. And if you did one of these for, let's say, just 3 to 5 years in your early 20s, there's a good chance you'd be able to just retire alone off these by your late 20s. The cons: these are getting way more competitive as more people understand the strategy. You have to pay PMI on any loan under 20%, but in the case of, let's say, an FHA loan, the PMI never goes away. So I actually like typically putting down 5% on these, where the PMI will go away, which is just mortgage insurance, and that'll go away when you get to 20%. We'll do more on that in other videos, but just know it is a con for this category, but it can be overcome, or it's worth discussing, or in some cases just still doing with PMI and not worrying about it. The next con: you may have roommates or live directly next to your tenants, which definitely can get weird sometimes. And the last con of house hacking: you definitely might not live in the nicest part of town. There are definitely some opportunities to house hack that aren't in the best areas, and for some people, they don't want to make that lifestyle change and live in an area that is not as desirable. All right, the vacation home pros and cons. The first pro is that it is a true lifestyle investment. You are able to use a property for your own personal enjoyment when you want to go on vacation, and you can make money on it every time that you're not there. The cons: in the world of COVID, these are becoming increasingly more competitive. People want vacation homes, destination homes, especially being that they can't live in their city normally anymore, at least right now, and they're trying to get out. Another con, just in general: Airbnb or short-term rentals are amazing, but in a lot of cases, they can be more headaches if you don't have good systems or people in place to help you with them. All right, number 4, active strategies. Time needed here: I'd say it's actually similar to the neutral strategies, but it's more on the front end of just doing research and getting to know things. So I would ballpark that as about 3 months of, let's say, 30 minutes a day. Should give you a good base and direction to get started reaching out to people and kind of just getting in touch with the right kind of people that can help you build this business. If you manage things on your own, I'd also say maybe another 5 to 10 hours of just setting things up with tenants, doing screenings, and kind of learning about ways to manage properties yourself. The first strategy is buying stabilized turnkey properties that are not with a company. So an example of this would be my brother just bought a 4-unit in Dayton, Ohio. It was not from a turnkey company, but I would call this a turnkey property in the sense of the property didn't really need any work. There were tenants in place and they were paying. It was a clean property. He was able to just hand it off to a property manager after that and start making about $1,200 a month, buying something that he'd never seen. Airbnb arbitrage is the next strategy. This is going to be its own separate playlist of videos, but from a very high level, what this just means is you are renting something and then you are re-leasing it on Airbnb or VRBO or kind of subletting it. This is totally legal, but it's an amazing strategy for people that don't have, let's say, enough money to get into buying property, or they don't have good credit and they want to start getting into the game and making cash flow without having to actually own anything. I'm just going to kind of generalize the pros and cons here, because I look at both of these strategies as fairly active, and you will need to ramp up and kind of have some trials and tribulations with each. The first pro is that, like anything you do more yourself, there's a chance that you'll be able to keep more profits because there's less layers or middlemen. There's definitely a way to make more money doing these. And as we'll talk about in a sec with cons, there's definitely a little bit more effort required. All right, so getting to the cons on these active strategies, what I see a lot of times is people kind of overestimate their ability at the beginning and think that things are easier than they are. So I just want to make clear, these things are not easy to get started. They are totally doable, but they do take time, work, energy, effort, and you are competing with other people. So there is often a neglect factor I see where people just kind of overlook stuff and then they end up losing money. And just another con here, kind of down that path, when people get started in active investing and they make a mistake, what I see happen a lot of times is they don't want to do the next deal because they kind of have bad feelings or they've been burned, so they just kind of quit. And I never like to see people quit. I like to see people more stack wins and get momentum so they can keep going. All right, number 5, the last set of strategies, which are highly active or full-time real estate investing strategies. Time needed here, it's pretty intense. I'd say at least 3 to 6 months on the front end of starting out. And then after that, it's probably 40 to 80 hours building a business, hiring people, standing things up, and just making sure everything can run in a productive, efficient way. The strategies we're talking about here are any form of starting a company or truly active hands-on investing, such as wholesaling, flipping, syndicating, or the BRRRR method. Just going through these quickly here, I'll define them. Wholesaling, I think of as the process of finding off-market deals and selling them to other investors. I say the second part here because this is either depending on the deal or how it's being built up. But the main part of this is just building marketing systems, which takes a lot of time and energy to get leads in that then you can talk to and figure out what to do with. The second part here is flipping. I think we all kind of know what this means, but instead of selling the property without doing any work, once you find it to an investor, you are actually the one, in a lot of cases, buying from the wholesalers and then doing the work yourself. Different set of kind of strategies and structures. It's more about like construction management and dealing with turnkey buyers, but it's very time intensive and can require a lot of money up front. Can be very lucrative, but also there is a lot of risk in it as well. Syndicating, from a very high level, this is just kind of crowdsourcing the purchase of apartment buildings and sharing the returns with investors. The BRRRR model, sort of made famous from bigger pockets, buying, rehabbing, renting, refinancing. I think I got that right. And if you do it right, finding any type of property, single family home or apartment building, you should be able to recoup most of your initial down payment and your investment into the repairs and rehab. So in a lot of cases, this means you can actually get a property for free. Kind of crazy to think about. We'll do more videos on that, but that's what the BRRRR method is. All right, the pros and cons of highly active real estate investing. The pros, as you would imagine, you can make lots of money doing these strategies. Anything from syndicating to flipping to wholesaling, you can make tons of money. Flipping and wholesaling, I'd say it's a little bit quicker, where syndicating is a little bit more build massive wealth over long periods of time. Second pro, kind of a funny one, you might actually become kind of famous or kind of notorious in your industry or have some notoriety. The people that do this are typically good at marketing as well on the wholesaling and flipping and syndication. So you will be known in your industry, which a lot of people like actually. It's a great way to raise more money. The cons, first one, like a lot of these strategies, but specifically these, they're very hot right now. They're very competitive. Even when I talk to my friends in these industries that are some of the top people, they're always kind of complaining or talking about how they're not finding deals or more beginners are getting in and driving the price up. So it's very competitive. Second con, as most business owners will tell you, there are a lot of risks when you have overhead and hire employees and have products and materials and you're dealing with other people's money. So this is not something, again, to just do on a whim. This does have a lot more risk than your own money or just kind of your own projects. So that's it, guys. I know this is a lot, but what do you guys think? Did I miss anything or did I get the order right? Curious if you're doing any of these strategies yourself. All right, and bringing this home, it's a little cliche, but I want to make it applicable to you. How do you implement these strategies? The answer is it depends on your goals. For most people I speak to, it goes like this. If you are under 30 and have a really high ambition level, I typically tell people to start off house hacking and then a side hustle like wholesaling or Airbnb arbitrage. This is similar to my path. It's a proven model. It can make you a lot of money, but it does take a lot of time and energy on the front end. These are not passive strategies at all, as we just talked about. If you're a little bit older and you might have a family and you're not interested in lowering your quality of life and you might love what you do, I would recommend either buying turnkey properties out of state or buying something like a vacation home or investing in a syndication as a limited partner. These are passive strategies to some extent, and you can learn a lot about real estate kind of as you go, and you will make a return as you go. And in any cases, if you don't like your job or you're just passionate about real estate, any of the full-time businesses or more active strategies in real estate would work. Wholesaling, flipping, syndication, Airbnb arbitrage. Just depends how much time you have with it, and if you enjoy these strategies and want to do them as kind of more full-time things instead of just passive income streams. That's it, guys. Let me know which strategies you're liking, which are working for you, if I missed anything, but from a high level, this is how I think about passive versus active investing. See you guys later.